Hi, welcome to the Creative Treehouse. My name is Robin Broom, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Thanks for joining me in the Treehouse today. Today's project is one that's just really exciting for me. I've just been so excited about it for quite some time, and I'm excited to share the video with you to show you how we made this project. Now, this project was inspired by one of the new Artisan Design Team members. I think it's Leah, and I will be sure to give her credit for the beginning of this idea. And she made the butterflies fly off of the page. They took flight and went on to a canvas, and that inspired me. So I got a canvas and started playing around. Now my canvas, I turned landscape. Hers was portrait, and she also used the butterflies. Lots of people are using these, which are cut out of the awesome Brilliant Wings dies. And that's what people are doing. They're doing it like this. This is actually one that I had made a card out of. They're taking the butterflies and coloring them, or just putting them on cardstock and cutting them out using that die. But also in that same die set are the ones that are lacy. I'm not really sure how to, very detailed. I love them. And so here are two that are cut out, and that's what I decided to use instead. I also decided to go with the more monochromatic color scheme, and so I've chosen to use my darkest color is Pretty Peacock. I'm going to be so sad when it disappears. That's like my ultimate all-time favorite color. Please bring it back, or something very similar. I like all the blues and blue greens. And then Just Jade, one of the newer in colors. This is an outgoing one. And then Mint Macron and Soft Seafoam. And it kind of just goes up from the darkest to the lightest. And so let me show you. It's going to be very difficult but with my work surface to show you the entire project all in one fell swoop. But let me see if I can bring the canvas over and just kind of show you as much as I can get on there. So let's see if I can get it to the bottom. If I turn it sideways, I think you might be able to see it just a little bit. So anyway, yeah, so there they are. The butterflies start with the darkest. Can you kind of see that? And then they go up into the lightest. So you'll just have to look at the main picture for this one. And it's really funny. I worked so hard. I actually used the Cricut for this one, and I don't use my Cricut very often because I have too much fun Stampin' Up! Stuff. But I wanted, these are the heat set letters, and Stampin' Up! Doesn't have anything like that. And I worked and worked and worked at it, and my original word was transformation, and somehow it transformed into transition because oh my goodness, I used up so much paper trying to make this work and figure it all out. But anyway, transition works as well, but I may have to do the whole thing all over again to get my original word. Okay, now let me move that one out of the way, and I will bring in, this was my first canvas that I tried. Usually I find that things take more than one try. All right, so what I did, let me start on this end. So what I actually did to start out with was I took each of my stamp pads. I took the Soft Seafoam, I took the Mint Macaron, I took the Just Jade and the Pretty Peacock, and I set them down. Let's see if I can slide it just a little bit. And I pretty much evened them out with an even spacing. And that's what I used. They almost look like they're about to start a race. And so that's what I used. And I slid them down so I knew that I wanted this one to be the furthest. And it's out of the camera, so I will just pretend and we'll just do it this way. And so like that. All about even. And what I did was I took the very first one, I took the Soft Seafoam, I opened up my pad, and I actually used it like this, and I just made a line, straight line. Canvases are a little tricky. Except for the board that's underneath it, this part doesn't have anything solid up underneath it. So I actually used a couple of Stampin' Up catalogs to put underneath there to make a smoother line. So I took and I made a line of each of those colors, doing the exact same thing, opening them up that way. And then they still, even with something up underneath it, it doesn't exactly work. And so what I also did was I brought in the blending brushes, and I would go through and I would also fill in. Now for this particular color scheme, the Just Jade is very dark, darker than what it would look like. And so I actually added a little bit of the mint macaron when I was going over and filling in and making sure all of my Just Jade was here. Okay, and you can also put like a straight edge or something to try to keep you right where you need to be. It's not going to matter a whole lot what it looks like, except for this one. I kind of went way out of there. That's why it's just a kind of a sample. It ended up being my practice canvas. But because your butterflies are going to be covering up a lot of this. So, but that's the colors, that's kind of how I did it. I took the stamp pad and I just slid it like this, maybe even more than once, maybe twice, maybe even 3 times if you can without getting it too crooked, and then fill in with the blending brushes. You could also probably fill in with maybe a sponge or something, but I used the blending brushes. So that's how those lines got on there. All right, let me move out my stamp pads just for a minute. And I'm gonna turn it and see how if I can get one of these to show. Okay, so the next thing I did was I cut out tons and tons and tons of the butterflies. And you just take all the dies and just go through. Let me just pull mine out from underneath the canvas and just run it through all the different colors. The colors that you would need the most of are the larger one, and for this case it is the Soft Seafoam. So like this is a Soft Seafoam butterfly, and then here this one is a Just Jade butterfly. And one of my dies just hit the floor. Okay, he was trying to fly away. He wasn't as light as these other ones. So can you see the Just Jade? Yes. Okay, so if the Just Jade, well, I'm not gonna be able to see that one as well. Okay, we are going to, and once you've got them all down, this would be completely covered with butterflies the exact way that I need them to be. All right, and the way I like it. Just keep moving them around. And then once you've got it settled as to how you want them and what you like, then what I did was I took a sticky note. So if this guy is exactly where I want him, I put a sticky note right here on top of him like that, and then I can pull him back off, because this part of the butterfly, if he came through the mint macaron, this part would be mint macaron, and once he hits the Soft Seafoam, he will turn Soft Seafoam like that, just going the gradation from the dark to the light. And so I would pull him carefully off. Let me move my canvas back out of the way, and I will get a scratch pad. And so he is Soft Seafoam, and the previous color is mint macaron. So I will take my mint macaron ink, and the bottom of him will be mint macaron. I dearly love these brushes. Okay, so all we're gonna do is we're going to just, and the brushes I think are perfect for this because it's so lacy and delicate. I'm afraid that some of the other things would possibly tear the paper. So this is just perfect, and just keep going through till you get it exactly the way you want it, several times over. And then when you lift up, of course you also make very pretty designs on your scratch paper. Let me close up my ink. All right, and then we will lift that back off of there. And there you have that. Look at that transformation. All right, and so what we would do then, let me bring my canvas back up. It's kind of difficult to do with a big one. Okay, so here he is, and so wherever he was, and I would still know, he's gonna line up here. So there is the Just Jade, and oops, nope, you're right. this way because he is coming from the Just Jade, and this part of the butterfly has already met with a soft seafoam, so he's changing. So, and that's the way all the butterflies were, like that. So if you do the same exact thing, if you want to copy it, just be sure you have a lot of butterflies that are in this in-between, all the in-between spaces, so that you can really see the transitioning. And just different sizes. And then how I adhered them, I just put a little bit of the liquid glue right here on his body, and I would hold it down. Let me put him back, and I would just hold it down, and you can kind of just, once he's dry, you just kind of lift his wings up. And that's all there is to it. So you're just cutting out a lot of butterflies, and you're gluing them down. Well, and you're also doing the little sticky note and working with that. And then you've just got a really cool project. And then you can do whatever you want with lettering. You don't even have to use lettering. That's up to you. Let me see if I can bring the original back in. And like I said, you'll just need to look at the pictures, the photos, because I can't get my camera any further out than that. But if you can look closely, actually, let me see if I can zoom in just so that you can see a little closer on perhaps how some of these butterflies actually are changing in there. I don't know if you can you see those? See the change and how they're one color and then another color. And then it's also interesting when you get one that's like in the corner. So this one, can you see this one? This one has the dark here and here. So I actually used 2 of the sticky notes. So because this part of the butterfly in my imagination had not gone through here yet. And so there was the Just Jade is on either side of that. So anyway, so that, I hope you could see that just a little bit and look at it closely when you get to the regular. And like here, you see this guy, he's all Just Jade except for this part of his wing. And that part of his wing has already reached the mint Macron. So that's what it looks like up close a little bit. And I wish I could pull it out further to show you, but that's as far as I can, as my camera will allow me to go. So again, I am so excited about this project, and hopefully that's enough details so that you can make this project as well. And I would love to see what you've created. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And you can order any of these products, sorry. You can order well, I guess maybe you could order the projects, but you can definitely order the products from my online store. And I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I think that's it. I'm trying. My goal is to make a video every week. I haven't quite met my goal, but I'm still working towards that. And I've got a blog as well, so just subscribe and follow me, and I'll do my best to keep sharing the things that I love, because I just love doing this and I love sharing what I love with you. So I think that's it. So thanks for joining me in the treehouse for this little bit unusual project, and I hope you like it. Leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me in the treehouse. Bye-bye.